Hello. So now we are on the Tbilisi plateau where I spend my life from 7 to 15, and this is the apartment building that I lived in on the first floor. It is still a first floor, but it's on the high up, so we call this like this building is standing on the feet. This is the feet, and so I live there, and and there is a school, and I will show you later. And every morning my friends would stand here and call and would call me Nina, so that we would go together. 3 or 4 classmates, friends would go there in school. It's in about like 70 or 100 meters away. So yeah, we used to walk here a lot. This is a building which was a hotel during Soviet Union, sanatorium. And in the 90s, when we had these brutal wars and when we lost Abkhazia, the people, the refugees came here and they started living here. So yes, and they had really hard time to integrate with society. And I had lots of classmates who were from Abkhazia, and they were refugees, and I could see very like pain in their eyes. Some like after this tragic event happened, there was this pain, but it was like unrealized. They didn't fully understand. It was like confused pain. So yeah, I remember very well these people. So here now you see these cars, but when I was little there were that many cars, and sometimes I would practice like tennis here. I had this hobby. So I was practicing tennis here, and sometimes I was practicing rollerblades here, but none of them was really successful. So I think I have to start over again my tennis practice and also rollerblading. So last time I was here, some woman told me the password of this door. But now I cannot open it. Oh, we don't really need a password to go upstairs. Okay, so I remember this corner because one time when I was little, over here there were like 2 guys, and they were busy doing some illegal activities. I think they were doing drugs, like hard drugs, and I was really was really scared because I felt that something terribly wrong was going on there, and I shouldn't have been there. 1. Okay, so this is my entrance, and this was my door, but it was black. Now I see some art. It wasn't here before. Some piano and some cute art. I don't know what's up with these pianos. It's like everywhere. Nice. Amazing performance by Belarus. Okay. This is some interesting art as well. I still remember the names. Yeah, of course I remember the names of our neighbors because back in the days there were like really close neighborhoods, and they would go and visit each other's apartments during holidays or birthdays. So they were sharing the good moments and bad moments with each other. And yeah, I remember like my parents used to fight a lot. So we lots of times neighbors would visit and like would ask, hey, please don't fight, and there's for the sake of this beautiful kid you have, but my parents usually didn't give a fuck. They would continue fighting. And basically everybody in this neighborhood, on my floor, on the first floor, and also on the top floors, knew that there were some crazy family living on the first floor. Let's go downstairs. So yeah, our family was famous with this. I just recently learned that these green walls that they, like basically the whole Soviet buildings have this like green color, is because after the war there was this like very big amount of leftovers of this green military paint, and they didn't know where to take it, and it is really good quality. You see, there's so many years, it's still there. And they decided to paint the entrances, which is amazing. So basically, besides my parents fighting basically all the time, I had relatively peaceful childhood here. I had friends and I used to play in this area. This is like a little garden thing. And yeah, I had neighbors who were my classmates as well. So yeah, and also my health improved because there was not mold here, so my lungs, my bronchitis just vanished, which was great. And also at the age of 12 or 13, when I hit the puberty, I had a crush who lived in that building. And so every time he would come down to play football or whatever, I would just like after school I would be standing looking out of my window to spot him and to feel butterflies in my stomach, whatever. I remember, yeah, at one time he looked up and he spotted me and I was so shy, I wanted to die. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. Another memory was when my grandmother fell ill. She was staying with us, and usually my dad would be very strict about timing when to go back home after playing in the yard. And when my grandma was there, he suspiciously let me stay in the yard to play with my friends much longer, and I was surprised. And then I went up at home and turned out that my grandma was already passed away. So that's why he let me stay out there, and it was really sad, really emotional for me. I cried a lot because I really loved her. She usually lived in eastern part of Georgia, where we would visit her for summer holidays, and yeah, I remember only sweet things from her. So yeah, this is one of the core memory. Another core memory was one time we didn't have phones, of course, back in the day, so we would just stand in front of the building and scream our mom's names if we wanted anything, if you wanted some toys. So she would, oh, so cute, kitten, really beautiful. So yeah, we would just scream our mom's names. And one time I saw this mattress. Usually you would hang mattress on the window so that sunlight would hit and it would refresh, whatever. And so yeah, I was like calling my mom, and I see that in matter of seconds this huge mattress probably weighs like double of my weight because it is with wool, and it just fell right in front of me. And in that moment I realized that it could easily just kill me. And it just fell in front of if it fell on me, it would absolutely like kill me. So in that moment I think I felt first time I felt fear of death, and I felt like I survived this death. So yeah, it was crazy. I had another event like that on the Hero Square. I just crossed the street filled with cars, and one car almost hit me, and this was another, like a second realization of like death, that death is so close to us. And back to our core memories here. I remember there was some disagreement with our neighbor because, as you know, you can just easily extend your apartment. No matter where you live, you can always add extra rooms, extensions on the building. So we had this neighbor, and she wanted to do this extension, and she wanted signatures and stuff, and some neighbors didn't sign, including I think my mom as well. She didn't sign it, and then she started fighting, and she was really problematic neighbor. We had another neighbor on the 6th floor from whom we bought this apartment on the first floor. And in the 90s, he was basically one of the first person who started business with business. Like, he would basically bring goods from China, like toys and this souvenirs and stuff, and he would sell it. And during that time, he really got a lot of money from it. And during this time, also, my father had this briefly some carpet business. He would bring carpets from Turkey to Georgia, and this brief period of time, we were kind of rich in the 90s, maybe just several years, because after that there were lots of competitors, and my father couldn't survive in this competitive environment. So one time I also remember that me and my neighbor who were playing, it was not the same table, but it was a metal table standing this direction, and we were just standing on this table and playing some games, and suddenly, so we were me, my other friend, and her, and she just decided to push us from this table, and she really did that. She really pushed, and we fell on the ground filled with twigs and stuff, like stones and stuff. And I remember that I hit my eye on some, I don't know, sharp object, and I had black eye for a week or two. And till this day, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with this girl. Why she just decided to push us down. And I was on the edge, so my friend who was standing in front of me, she fell on me too, together with that I fell, and I really hit my back and my eye, and she was on top of me, fell on me, and it was one of the most painful event during those days. So yeah, I never asked her. I think we weren't friends anymore. I just distanced myself from her, but we were classmates, so we really had to say hi to each other. But yeah, it was really, really weird. And of course, in most neighborhoods, you have this like water situation. Usually these water fountains are made for the memory to remember a famous person who died, like a famous person from this neighborhood who died. And during those days in the 90s, and especially when the new government came, there were a list of young people who were dying because of this like street fights or sometimes police brutality. So yeah, you see lots of fountains like this for the memory of them. These are really high. It's like Twin Tower. God bless them. Speaking of God, when me and my family moved here, there was this church. Church is the church is, I will show you later, and the name of this church comes from when the angel arrives to Mary to let her know that she will be carrying the Son of God. And it's like a brick church, and in 1997 8 when we moved here, they just put the cross on top of this church. So yeah, basically it was like a completion event, so it's like a big deal. When you put the cross on the church, it's done, it's already there, and you can go and pray there. So yeah, we moved here, and during those days everybody just started going to church, because after this atheistic period, then we had this like boom, like everybody to church. So we were not exceptions. So me and my mom would go there on Saturdays, and on Saturday in the afternoon, and on Sundays in the morning. With hungry stomachs, we would go there and attend all the ceremonies. And also it was a place of I don't know, hanging out with people and communication and this kind of stuff. I think I really want to go now, and I will show you my school, and then maybe we could go to church. Let's see if it's open. And just randomly I found this, I think it's a tattoo, because it has this instructions. It says that you use this like wet towels and you put it, and then it just stays on your skin. You used to do it a bunch when I was little. We had this like fake tattoos. Now I have real tattoos. Perks of getting old. Amazing. I was hoping that today would be a sunny weather, but no. It's weird, it's gray, and it's windy. My Twin Tower. I shouldn't be calling this Twin Tower. God bless, God bless. No Twin Tower, no. Every time I see people walking when I'm filming, I get so shy. Like I still can't accept the fact that people actually perceive me and notice me and that I exist. Okay, so this is my school. unlike the school that we were in my previous apartment, where my previous apartment was, this school is still school, and it's doing pretty well, I think. Of course they changed the color of the building, but hey, it's still functional and it's still a school. And yeah, we would have classrooms here, everywhere, and we would play after school in that stadium. And this is my building. It's just like right next to it. And if you see the other two buildings, later I will start living there. So when I was 13, turning 14, we sold this apartment and we moved there. Yeah, there are lots of new weird buildings emerging. This is newer. These two were built in 2000s, early 2000s, I think. And we were not happy about it because it blocked the view. It blocked the whole city from the school. So yeah, it was horrible. If you build another building here, you will not see our funicular. What the fuck? Kamercuma. 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 אבל זה בושרי. She said that, oh, she interrupted me doing my video as if I'm doing super important stuff. It's so funny. During my days, this wasn't here. We didn't have volleyball. It was a luxury. So after school, we would also come here and hang out here because it was like also in the shade, but also in the school territory. So it was like in between space, and we would sit here and play some dumb games. I can't believe that these are the same trees that were standing here when I was little. I probably should be touching it with my face, but cute. very cute. I remember that one time we were sitting here, and I'm gonna sit here now. So there were two twins and they were models, so they were doing modeling and they were really famous in this area, especially in our generation. They were like maybe 4 years older than us, 5, and they were sometimes smoking cigarettes, and we would get really curious about them. And we had this thing called like Friend's Diary, where you had this questionnaire, and you would give a person you wanted to fill out this questionnaire. For example, who is your favorite music artist? Who is your favorite actor? What is your favorite food? What is your favorite drink? And this kind of stuff. So I was really shy, but then I overcame it. And when I saw these girls were hanging out here, I gave them my friend's diary, and she filled out this. And I really felt really happy. Another memory is that here on the other side of the building there was the door locked with a little lock, and I somehow came up with this idea that with my hair clip I could actually open this lock. So one time I opened this lock and we ended up in the sports department, and then we sneaked out from the school like once or twice, and then they hanged the bigger lock so I couldn't open it with my hair clip. But a brief period of time I was really famous by opening these locks and let kids sneak out from school and not attend classes. So yeah, it was good. Several days of fame. These dudes were like standing behind me, and I think they wanted to ask me about what I'm doing, but I was so locked in that they didn't even dare to interrupt my very important activity. Okay, so this is like a stadium. Yeah, this is my building again. And one time I was playing with my friends in this stadium and I was late. I was late at home, and I was late and I went to apartment, and my father was so angry, and when he saw me it was like in the face. It was first time that my father just did this kind of stuff, and everything just brightened up in my eyes, and I was in shock. I couldn't even cry. It was so shocking, and it was really horrible, because I thought that I didn't do anything wrong. I was just playing in the stadium with a friend, and it was a little bit dark. It was not completely dark, but yeah, turns out my parents and my dad was really scared, and that's how he expressed his nervousness. Just slapping your kid. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've heard much like much worse stories that when parents would beat up, even teachers would beat up kids for basically no reason. Like, it's insane. But yeah, I'm glad this kind of shit doesn't happen. I mean, of course, probably it still happens, but not as it was not normal. Like, it is not normalized anymore. But back in the day, it was kind of normalized. But I'm happy that I was not experiencing it. So yeah, it was this one time. And what else I have about the stadium? Yeah, we usually had the sports classes here. We didn't have this green artificial cover. It was like this. Yeah, it was like this. We would just have sports lesson here. And we would do some exercises and stuff. But now when I think about it, I think it would be much better if we had yoga lessons, because yoga lessons really gives you this like extra understanding of your body and your mind, and I think it has more psychological, philosophical meaning that connects your mind and physique. We also used to play here. It looks really like there was another thing here, but it's gone. So I would just hang here and do some like whirls, and then we were just doing this. You shouldn't be touching the ground, and we would just crawl into this. And yeah, this one is still the same. Another another memory was so there was this like big tube, and I crawled on it. It was really high, and I crawled on it, and I felt very special because not everybody could crawl up there, and it was nice. Feels exactly the same. It feels like traveling in your, like, literally traveling in childhood. It feels like it too. I remember that here was a huge, like a really big swing. Not really big, but for me it was big. So once we just swung so much that it went like this. It did the full circle like this without any seatbelt or anything. We just did that. And also here you see this big garage areas. We would crawl here on top of it, and then we would just jump down on the ground just like that. It's just interesting that I didn't break any bones whatsoever during those jumps. Behind this building there was Bye Park. Behind this building, yeah, there was I think that is the apartment building. My bestie was living there, and I would go at her house and would play lots of games and stuff. She had really big family, and it was unusual for me because I was only child for first 15 years, so there were like 3 or 4 siblings, I think 3, and yeah, there was always like noise and like some like sounds there, like, you know, people playing, someone's making food. Okay, Tsuga. Yeah, dog area. Unfamiliar scents I brought. So, yeah, it was so unusual to visit my friends' families that had a normal family situation, like siblings, mom and dad, getting along with each other fairly good, and they're just like living a normal life. It's like, wow, crazy. It looked really fantastic. Yeah, here. We would play here. And this is the building, yeah. So, by the way, we were in the snow when we were at Tbilisi. In the previous video, we were over there. So, almost same height. Almost. Not the same, but almost. Yeah, we're pretty up high. So yeah, we would just play here some stupid games. I like this shot. Here you see my school from this perspective, and this is like some hotel. It's like a famous guy called Berika, and he would host like famous singers back in the day, for example, Alla Pugacheva. And there was this legend that, oh, he hosted this amazing Russian singer. And I think this house or hotel, whatever, residency, was the most well-looking building back in the days. It looked very rich, but now I think it's just abandoned. Do you see these tubes? Me and my friends would slide on this. This was our amusement park. Yeah, we're still in the school territory, and I think I smell gas. Very artistic. Look at this. Right from the middle, the tree's growing. Okay. So just like in lots of Balkan countries, I was also sent on bread. And now I will show you where. It's very close to my apartment. Oh, this shop was also one of my favorite because there was lots of stuff from China that I really loved, like toys and stuff. And this was my bread spot. I used to buy my bread in this shop, and it didn't, I don't know, like it didn't look that miserable back in the days. It looked really normal for me. But now it looks really like torn or like distracted or deconstructed. Another my favorite shop, not my favorite, but there was a shop here. And once when I was little, there was still this like, you know, gangster vibe individuals hanging around. And this one of the guy was like, oh hey, how are you doing? I really want to buy you some chocolates and stuff. And he got me some Snickers or something in that shop. And I was like, why he's doing that? And I would just say hi. I would just like hello and stuff. So I think, yeah, he was just like that with everybody. He would just like know every family, and this kind of people, they usually knew everybody in the neighborhood. So maybe he spotted me and he wanted to register in my brain as a cool guy. And some random garden, cute seashells and flowers. And one of my friends, like bestie, was also living in this apartment building, and we would scream her name. Sala. And so she chama, it means like, will you come down? to play with us. Sometimes it was yes, sometimes it was no. Because sometimes their grandma wouldn't let her out because she had to finish homework. In this church, we would celebrate Easter and also Christmas. And when I was a kid, I really liked this, because you would go and celebrate this holidays at midnight. So I get to meet my friends at midnight, and it was unusual for me, and I really loved it. And we would circle this church and basically celebrate together this religious festivities. Also, there was this bread and wine, and I would taste this wine. I didn't like the taste of it though. Sometimes it was sweeter, and in this case I really liked it, but if it's not sweet, if it wasn't really sweet, then I didn't like this wine. And also I remember one time there were like famous Georgian celebrities visiting this church. I think they were it was like blessing a blessing ritual of one of them, and they came, and I happened to be there, and I was amazed to see them, because I already saw them on TV, and yeah, when I didn't know they were really real people, and they had these like cool cars and stuff. And I wanted to further explore this church from the inside and show you different iconography and crosses, but I didn't, because I saw that there was a priest and a woman, and this woman was confessing her sins, and the priest was giving her some recommendations, advices. So I didn't want to annoy them. Guess what? Another piano. Oops. It's locked. Okay. Bye-bye, piano. Please enjoy this beautiful view, this sunset. The place where east meets west, where nature meets concrete jungle. Thank you very much for watching and listening. See you in the next video. Have a beautiful day.